John Gill's Exposition of the Entire Bible, Revelations chapter 6, verse 4. Reading from the King James Bible, quote, "And there went out another horse that was red," unquote. John Gill, quote, "which may be an emblem either of the suffering state of the church, being answerable to the Smyrna one, as the purity and power of the gospel represented in the former seal, may answer to the Ephesians, that's Ephesine, church, or else of those contentions and divisions occasioned among men through the gospel, which, though of a peaceable nature, yet, through the corruption and depravity of men, brings not peace, but a sword, or rather of those bloody wars, wherein the period of time signified by the seal, which came as punishments on the enemies of the gospel," unquote. Scripture, quote, "And power was given to him that sat thereon," unquote. John Gill, quote, "not the Lord Jesus Christ, who is said to ride on the red horse." Zechariah chapter 1, verse 8. Reading from the King James Bible, quote, "I saw by night, and behold, a man riding upon a red horse, and he stood among the myrtle trees that were in the bottom, and behind him there were red horses, speckled and white," unquote. Though indeed he presides over his church and people, and takes care of them, when the most desolating judgments are in the earth, and causes all things to work together for good, nor Satan, the red dragon, who was a murderer from the beginning, and delights in infusion of blood, and in stirring up of men to destroy one another, whenever he is permitted. But Trajan, that's Trajan, the Roman emperor, in whose reign John died, and who came from the west, and was a Spaniard, as was Hadrian, Hadrian, his successor, who may be joined with him, which was the side or quarter on which the living creature was that spoke to John. In the times of these emperors were very bloody in civil wars, wherefore power is said to be given him," unquote. Scripture, quote, "to take peace from the earth," unquote. John Gill, quote, "that is, from the Roman Empire, which is sometimes called the whole world, and which could not have been done if power had not been given from him who makes peace and creates evil," unquote. Scripture, quote, "and that they should kill one another," unquote. John Gill, quote, "which refers not to the havoc and slaughter which the Jews made one of another at the destruction of Jerusalem, but to the Jews' murderings of the Greeks and Romans, and the Romans the Jews, in the times of the above emperors. In Trajan's time, the Jews who dwelt among Cyrene, that's Cyrene, under the conduct of one Andrew, fell upon the Romans and Greeks and killed many, fed on their flesh, ate their bowels, besmeared themselves with their blood, and covered themselves with their skins. Many of them they sawed asunder, from the crown of the head down to the middle. Many of them they threw to wild beasts, and many of them they forced to fight among themselves, till they had destroyed above 220,000 men. In Egypt and Cyprus they committed the same kind of outrages, their leader being one Artemion, it's Artemion, where 240,000 men perished. Libya was almost emptied of men by them, so that Hadrian, the successor of Trajan, was obliged to send colonies to repeople the places that they had made desolate. But at length they were overcome by Lupus, governor of Egypt, and by Marcus Turbo, and by Lucius, whom Trajan sent against them, and destroyed great numbers of them, and for the space of about 14 years they were quiet. But in Hadrian's times they rose again and set one Bar Kochab, that's Cochab, a false Messiah, at the head of them, whom they proclaimed king, when Hadrian set forces against them, and with great difficulty subdued them, took this city, Bither, that's Bither, where they were, and destroyed at times 580,000 of them. The Jews say that he put men and women and children to death in such numbers that their blood ran down into the main sea, yea, with the horse might go up to its nose in blood. They say that he destroyed in Bither double the number of those that came out of Egypt, even 1,200,000 men. Some of their accounts are very extravagant and exceeds all bounds. However, the slaughter was very great, that it may well be said, unquote. Scripture, quote, and there was given unto him a great sword, unquote. John Gill, quote, to slay men with, though Hadrian on his deathbed, amongst his pains, would fain have had a sword given to him to have dispatched his own life, and could not obtain one. The Jews say he destroyed all the land of Judah, unquote. End of John Gill's Revelations chapter 6, verse 4.